Breaking right now on Morning News Now, captured. A massive manhunt in Minnesota is over. Overnight, authorities finding and arresting the suspect accused of targeting and killing a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband and injuring a state senator and his wife. Two separate shootings, the governor calling them politically motivated attacks.
And this is a very dangerous individual for our community, and that's why so many resources and such a great collaboration came together to focus on removing him from society.
We will take you to Minnesota for the latest, including what we are learning about the suspect. Also, a split-screen weekend with a military parade and massive protests. In Washington, President Trump celebrating the Army's 250th anniversary on his own birthday. Across the country, millions of demonstrators taking to the streets for a No Kings March against the president and his policies. Plus, a new NBC News poll showing Americans divided on the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again initiative. We're going to break down the new findings. Developing this morning, a state of emergency in West Virginia. Severe storms setting off flash flooding, killing several people. And it is not over yet. We are tracking the system in the places still at risk. And making the planet a little less lonely, we're going to get a look at Lonely Planet's first ever travel guide for members of the LGBTQ+ community. Good morning. Good to have you with us on a Monday. I'm Joe Fryer. Savannah is off today. We are going to start in Minnesota, where the suspect in what officials say were multiple targeted political shootings is now in custody. Police arrested Vance Bolter last night after an urgent two-day manhunt. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office posted this photo on Facebook. It captures a moment just after Bolter's arrest, calling it the face of evil. Officials described it as the biggest and most intense manhunt in state history. Bolter is 57 years old, a husband and father. He now faces state and federal charges for his alleged role in the murders of State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, also for the attempted murders of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Investigators say they found a longer list of names in the suspect's vehicle, including several pro-choice lawmakers from a number of states, but they believe he acted alone. Now, investigators at all levels are trying to figure out why this happened. Former FBI Supervisor Rob D'Amico is here to talk about the investigation and the manhunt. We're going to start with NBC News correspondent Jay Gray, who is outside the state capitol in St. Paul. It's about 60 miles from where the suspect was finally captured. Jay, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. I want to show you what's happening here at the Capitol. You can see a makeshift memorial just behind us that has been growing. And in fact, long before the sun came up, there were people here coming to pay their respects, standing and spending a few moments there. This, as we do learn more about that manhunt you talk about, a massive team of officers and federal agents stalking the suspect through the woods for hours, making their move just after nightfall. After more than 40 hours on the run, tactical teams close in, capturing Vance Bolter overnight.
There's no question that this is the largest manhunt in the state's history.
Federal, state, and local agencies searching for the man they say murdered State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and in a separate attack, severely injuring State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette. Bullet holes from that shooting visible through their front door. The break in the case came Sunday afternoon. Officers locating an abandoned car Bolter is suspected of using after the attacks in a rural area about 50 miles southwest of Minneapolis and just minutes from his home. Then, after a tip from a resident, honing in, tracking, and surrounding Bolter.
The suspect crawled to law enforcement teams and was placed under arrest at that point in time. There was no use of force by any member of law enforcement.
Agents say Bolter was armed when he was taken into custody. A criminal complaint unsealed after his arrest shows police found at least 3 AK-47 rifles, a 9mm pistol, and a kill list in his car, a ballistic vest, mask, and police-style badge on the ground outside the vehicle. Evidence, and what police stress, is still an open and active investigation.
Now begins the hard work of looking at what the motive is, looking at putting this case together.
As the Twin Cities struggle with overwhelming loss. Yeah, and understandably, there is relief with the arrest that this suspect is no longer on the loose. But, Joe, there's also a real period of grieving here, and a lot of people still very upset about what's happened and what they've lost here. We should also say that things on the legal side moving rather quickly. We have learned this morning that he will make his first court appearance later this afternoon. He faces 2 charges of second-degree murder, 2 charges of attempted second-degree murder. We expect those to be bumped up to first degree. And there is also a discussion underway with federal prosecutors who say they may get involved, that he could face federal charges, including possibly terrorism.
All right, Jay Gray in St. Paul. Jay, thank you so much. I'm joined now by former FBI Supervisor Rob D'Amico. Rob, I know you were on the air and on MSNBC moments after we started learning about all of this over the weekend. So now that the suspect's in custody, just what are the top priorities for investigators? What do they want to know?
Well, just like a person, I think the whole investigation had an adrenaline dump last night. They were relieved that he was caught because that was a safety concern. But they're probably going on 48. I think it was caught at the 43-hour mark. They probably hadn't slept since, so they probably got a few hours last night and then going back at it today. All the tactical teams will go away. Now the primary thing is to start slowing down the investigation. Yesterday they were looking for clues to where he may be. And that was very, very, I don't want to say rushed, but they were looking through it hurriedly to find those little nuggets that they could get. Now it's going to be laying the case out. What, timeline. They're going to go back several weeks, months to look at his timeline of his mental status and what he was doing and what he was looking at. They're also going to be looking for accomplices. Where was someone helping him? How did he get that second car? How did he get all the weapons? Everything that they're going to look at is, was he provided assistance in any way? Some of it may have been unknowing, but they're going to look at that and then see if there's charges there.
You mentioned the suspect taken into custody about 43 hours after the shootings happened, relatively close to his home after a tip. I should know his home a good distance away from where the shootings happened. When you look at everything we've learned about the suspect, the allegations against him, what kind of profile begins to emerge?
Well, I think it started like everyone says, oh, he's a nice guy. I never saw it happening. Obviously, he was hiding some of this. He may have the views that led him to this. Some people may have known. He may have been communicating online or through encrypted chats with other members of a group that felt the same way. Obviously, the people around him didn't see it. But once you start talking to all of them and you start looking at his electronics and figuring out who else he may have been communicating with that others didn't know, you started putting together, where did this slide go from beliefs to violent action to really having 3 AKs and an entire hit list that he thought he may go out and commit.
Even if it turns out he did act alone, you're always worried about the potential for copycat crimes. And just bottom line, we live in politically tense times, to put it mildly. What are the steps police and other authorities just everywhere should be considering to try and keep lawmakers safe in light of what happened over the weekend?
I think they're going to have to go out and as a law enforcement community, figure out how best to keep the state and local politicians and lawmakers safer, and tips on how to do things at your house and when you're getting in your car, because you do talk about copycats. It's almost like school shootings where you see one and then very shortly you see another one and maybe another one. And it's not like someone didn't have the idea. Someone else is thinking about the same thing this guy was thinking about. He sees this and he likes the results. Though I think it's great that he got caught quick, because that puts in their head that if you do this, you're not going to get away with it. But they may not like, the politicians doing this, and they may have been thinking about it, and they may want to take action based on this. So there's a real safety concern, and hopefully they see the country come together and say, absolutely not, from both sides. This is not tolerated, kind of like after 9/11 when we had that unity.
D'Amico, always good to have you with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Millions of Americans took to the streets over the weekend to protest the actions of the Trump administration. Those marches were sparked in part by ICE raids against undocumented migrants in major cities. The protests were the largest we've seen since Mr. Trump returned to power in January. They happened on the president's birthday, the same day he held a military parade on the streets of Washington, D.C. That controversial event, estimated to cost as much as $45 million, was met with skepticism among many lawmakers, including Republican Senator Rand Paul. Here's his conversation with Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker.
Hello there, Joe and Savannah. This week on Meet the Press, I spoke to Republican Senator Rand Paul, who told me he wasn't fully on board with President Trump's military parade that took place in Washington this week. President Trump says the parade was to showcase the Army's military might, even to inspire a new generation to sign up for military service. Senator, what do you say about that argument? Could the parade have that benefit of encouraging people to sign up and enlist?
You know, I'm all for the president appearing and doing enlistment ceremonies at military bases. I've been with the president at Dover to receive home our dead soldiers, and so those who have been killed in action, and to mourn their loss. But I just never liked the idea of the parade, because I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and the only parades I can remember are Soviet parades for the most part, or North Korean parades. And the parades I remember from our history were different. You know, everybody remembers that famous scene of the soldier, you know, dipping the girl and kissing the girl in New York in a ticker tape parade. But we were rejoicing the end of war, and we were rejoicing our soldiers coming home. And that absolutely ought to be commemorated and discussed every year, Memorial Day, Veterans Day. But we never glorified weapons so much. And I know he means well. I don't think he means for any of this to be depicted in another fashion, but I'm just not a big fan. And then there is the cost. I mean, we're $2 trillion in the hole, and just an additional cost like this, I'm not for it.
You can see my full interview and a lot more at MeetThePress.com. You can also get more Meet the Press right here on NBC News Now every weekday at 4 p.m.
All right, Kristen, thank you. Let's bring in NBC News White House correspondent Yamiche Alcindor. She's following the president's visit to Canada for the G7 meeting there. Yamiche, before we get to the G7, talk to us about the protests we saw over the weekend while this military parade was happening. Despite the demonstrations against his policies, it does now look like the president's doubling down on his deportation efforts in Democratic-run cities, and yet possibly pulling back on raids on hotels and farms. Talk about what we're learning here.
Well, good morning, Joe. It's really interesting. The president is doing two things. First, he is publicly saying that he wants to expand deportation efforts, and he's saying specifically he wants to target Democratic-run cities, including Los Angeles and New York. He said he wants to focus on sanctuary cities, which are cities that say that they want to try to protect undocumented immigrants. That being said, over the weekend, I was in touch with some Department of Homeland Security officials who were not pushing back on reporting that showed that the president was actually telling ICE officials not to go into hotels and not to focus on farms, and instead to pivot to focusing really on criminals and people who have broken the law. And part of that is because there's reporting that the agricultural secretary actually was lobbying President Trump, saying, look, there are people, farmers, Trump supporters, who are saying that this is really hurting their business, hurting the U.S. economy possibly, and that as a result, those sorts of raids that are focusing on agricultural workers and hotel workers, those need to be pulled back a bit. So the president in some ways is acquiescing to that, but publicly he wants to still be seen as someone who is carrying out the biggest mass deportation effort, and as a result, you're hearing him talk about Democrat-run cities. But I think it's going to be very interesting in the next few days and weeks to see who actually gets pulled in by ICE now, because there is this pivot where we're expecting to not go to farms and to restaurants.
Yeah, especially if the goal is still to try and do 3,000 a day. All right, Yamiche, let's turn to the G7. I know Israel's war with Iran is expected to dominate the agenda there, but we're going to get to that later in our hour. I want to ask you about another major area. That's the economy. How much of a shadow do you expect the president's trade tariffs will cast on these meetings?
Well, the president's stick more than carrots trade policy is definitely going to be something that's going to be a big topic here. Of course, the G7 is really a meeting of the world's biggest economies. You have Italy, Germany, Japan. So you have countries that want to make deals with the United States. And of course, you have Canada hosting. So there is going to be a lot of talk, yes, about what's going on in the Middle East and also, frankly, about what's going on between Ukraine and Russia. Actually, Prime Minister Mark Carney, while he was inviting, of course, the members of the G7, he also invited some non-members, and Ukraine is one of them. So we expect to have conversations about war, but there's going to be a lot of conversations about actually trying to eke out some trade deals. The President Trump, is under a lot of pressure to actually roll out some trade deals. The president said he's going to be making a number of trade deals, but we actually haven't seen any. Even when it comes to the UK, he had a framework of a deal, but we actually haven't seen details of that deal. So he's hoping to walk away with some trade deals. We're not sure if that's going to actually happen, though, Joe.
And Yamiche, this is also the president's first visit to Canada since he repeated those claims of trying to make that country the 51st state. We have seen strained relations between these two countries since then. Could things get tense at all when the president meets the Canadian Prime Minister later today?
It's a really interesting question. We know that Prime Minister Mark Carney was actually elected, and part of the election there and part of the conversation was the fact that he was pushing back on President Trump and saying Canada wasn't for sale, that it didn't want to be the 51st state. Of course, those conversations and the president saying that he wants to make Canada the 51st state has angered a lot of Canadians. We've also seen even American liquor being pulled off shelves here in Canada. That being said, I think the Prime Minister of Canada wants to have a sort of smooth G7. We've seen other G7s in the past where there was one with a famous picture where you saw the leader of Germany actually leaning over President Trump. It was sort of encapsulating the tensions there. This G7, he's really, I think, trying to have a smooth one. So we'll see how those conversations go. But I expect that Canada, at the end of this, will not be the 51st state, Joe.
I think that's a safe bet right there. All right, Yamiche, thank you so much. This morning, exclusive new polling from NBC News dives into the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again agenda, which is skeptical of big pharma and big food. Its work has been a priority for Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The poll was conducted with data collection from SurveyMonkey. The poll found the public is closely divided over its view of Kennedy. A slim 51% said they had a favorable opinion of him, 48% unfavorable. For more on this, we're joined now by NBC News medical reporter Erica Edwards. Erica, good to have you with us. So let's start right there on the poll about how Americans feel just about Kennedy. What else did we learn?
Hey, Joe, good morning. Well, this was a big survey, nearly 20,000 people polled between May and early June. Now, I will say that this was before Secretary Kennedy dismantled the CDC's vaccine panel. But what we found was that just over a third, 36% there, found him somewhat favorable, mostly conservative voters. But when we dug a little bit deeper, his popularity is strongest among people who follow President Trump's Make America Great Again platform. The majority of people who align simply with the Republican Party in general were somewhat less favorable. Joe?
So, Erica, the poll also asked what deserves the most blame for chronic health issues in America, like obesity and heart disease. What did we see there?
Americans overwhelmingly pointed to the food industry, especially ultra-processed foods, for the rise in chronic illnesses. And this was across party lines. Republicans, Democrats, independents all blamed the food industry for the rise in chronic illnesses. Now, I spoke with a wide variety of people from Florida to Wisconsin and California. They all said that we need to change our diet and start making some lifestyle changes. Here's what they had to say.
We design our cities to not be walkable. We make our restaurants to where they're not healthy. We exacerbate the issue all on our own.
I think the way food is processed these days, it's ultra processed, is a big contributor, along with people being on their phones, not really staying active, just sitting around a lot, and exercise has kind of gone by the wayside.
Now, Kennedy has also blamed environmental toxins for the rise in chronic illnesses. Just 6% of our surveyed folks agreed with that.
Erica, a major aspect of Mr. Kennedy's tenure has been his stance on vaccines. He has long spread misinformation about the safety and effectiveness of childhood vaccines. What do Americans think about his views?
This is squarely where the majority of Americans absolutely disagree with Secretary Kennedy. 49% strongly support the use of vaccines. Another 31% somewhat support. And once again, this was across party lines. Everyone I talked with, conservative, liberal, all said routine childhood vaccines like the MMR vaccine are safe and important for public health. Joe?
Not every issue totally partisan. Erica, good to have you with us. Thank you. In West Virginia, at least 5 people are dead. Several more are missing after strong storms triggered major flash flooding. As much as 4 inches of rain fell in just half an hour on Saturday night. That caused rivers in the northern part of the state to overtop their banks. The rushing water washed cars into creeks and damaged homes and businesses. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey has declared a state of emergency in 2 counties there, with more rain in the forecast every day through Thursday. Speaking of the forecast, we've got more now on the expanding risk of severe storms with your Morning News Now weather. Meteorologist Michelle Grossman joins us now. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. Yeah, and it's not just rainfall. We're going to see that threat for heavy rainfall and more threat for flash flooding. So this is what it looks like this morning. We're watching 2 systems that are bringing some showers and storms. A cluster in the northern plains. That's going to be the bullseye for some storms today. The northern fringe of the central plains into the northern plains. And then we're looking at a big half of the country, eastern half of the country, looking at the chance for showers, some spotty thunderstorms, and the chance for more flash flooding, especially in the mid-Atlantic, the Carolinas. And this is what it looks like. We have several days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where we're looking at showers and storms, and some of these will reach severe limits. So for today, we're looking at those spotty showers in the southeast, and we say spotty showers, but we could see some flooding potentials with any of these storms and flash flooding also. And then we have another system that's moving through the northern plains. You notice these dark colors. This is a future cast. So we're anticipating some heavy rainfall with any of these storms. Also some hail, some lightning, some thunder, some damaging winds, and the chance of some tornadoes. Tomorrow, watch this cold front move a little bit further to the east. So now we're looking at possible storms across the central plains. And notice that second line there. Flash flooding does continue, or at least the threat does. So we're going to watch that tomorrow, too, into Wednesday and also Thursday. Wednesday, there's that cold front as it advances into the Great Lakes. We're looking at that storm risk from Missouri to Michigan. And again, could see everything on the table in terms of some damaging winds, heavy rainfall, some hail, and even the chance of a few tornadoes. So this is what it looks like for today. 9 million people at risk for destructively large hail. We could see golf ball size hail, strong winds gusting over 65 miles per hour. That's nearly hurricane force winds. And that could cause damage all on its own, a few tornadoes. And we're looking at enhanced risk. That's 3 out of 5 on the severity scale, where you see the orange on the map here. So places like Minnesota all the way to Nebraska could see some really strong storms. That is today. Tomorrow, we're looking at 77 million people. And I do want to end on Wednesday, because look how this number grows to 41 million people at risk throughout the Great Lakes into the southern plains. And again, we're looking at all the risks for severe weather on Thursday.
So a stormy week ahead for the midsection of the country. All right, Michelle, thank you so much.
Sure.
Much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, one airline taking precautions after a series of close calls at airports across the country. The new technology meant to help pilots at takeoff and landing. Up first after the break, developing news out of the Middle East. Israel and Iran exchanging a new round of airstrikes as fears of a wider war grow. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Missile strikes between Israel and Iran are intensifying this morning. The conflict between the two nations now entering its 4th day. Overnight, at least 8 people were killed following Iranian missile strikes on Israel. Israel's defense minister accused Iran of targeting civilians and threatened that, quote, residents of Iran would pay the price. As for Iran, state media there reports that more than 200 people have died since Israel began bombing Iran on Friday. A health ministry spokesman was quoted as saying civilians make up 90% of those casualties. Israel says the aim of its campaign is to eliminate Iran's nuclear facilities. The president of Iran told the country's parliament today that the country has no intention of seeking nuclear weapons. The U.S. has distanced itself from Israel's attacks as the Trump administration tries to pursue a nuclear deal with Tehran. NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley is live in Tel Aviv with the very latest. Matt, good morning. So what more can you tell us about the Iranian president's comments on its nuclear program made this morning? And just how much are these Israeli strikes actually impacting Iran's nuclear facilities?
Yeah, 2 very good questions, Joe, and really the questions everybody's asking. You know, we don't know how much the Israeli attacks are setting back Iran's nuclear program, because the fact is that we have heard from the IAEA, and it seems as though Israel hasn't actually penetrated the underground facilities where most of the enrichment capabilities are being kept, and that would be at Natanz and Fordo. These places have, at least at Natanz, a surface level facility that was almost completely destroyed destroyed in the initial Israeli attacks early on Friday morning. It doesn't sound as though any of these attacks have penetrated below, and that is where we're seeing the most crucial reserves. Now, we've also heard that Iran's parliament is going to be tabling a bill to try to withdraw from the nuclear non-proliferation treaty. Now, that would be probably a several weeks-long effort, but it goes to show that Iran has essentially given up its effort to try to comply with international nuclear rules, even though Iran's president has said they had no nuclear enrichment program. Important to note here, Joe, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has long accused the Iranians of being years, months, weeks away from being able to field some sort of nuclear weapon. He's been saying this since the early 1990s, and he's been wrong every time. So it's important to treat what he's saying now, that Iran was in breakout capability, was about to launch a nuclear weapon, or was about to create one, with some level of skepticism.
So, Matt, Israel launched the initial attacks. Iran has been ramping up its retaliatory strikes. I know you were forced to seek shelter in Israel throughout the weekend. Tell us more about that and just what's the feeling among civilians on the ground there?
Yeah, I mean, it's every day. We've been forced two or three times a day in order to try to hide. And one of the things when I was just coming out, I'm standing on my balcony right now, you could see interceptions above as I was trying to run for that safe room. So it's pretty threatening. And, a lot of the Israelis who share this bunker with me, they were pretty calm. They see this as sort of a typical thing, even though, this is something that you can actually hear audibly from inside these very protected rooms. So it is frightening. But the fact is that the IDF has said that everybody who has died so far, and as you mentioned, there's been about 24, has died because they haven't reached the safety of these protected rooms.
So, Matt, when Israel first launched these attacks on Iran Friday, the Trump administration said the U.S. was not involved in the strikes, was not providing Israel with military assistance. We also learned this over the weekend. A U.S. official told NBC News President Trump in recent days vetoed Israel's plan to try and assassinate Iran's supreme leader. What more can you tell us about this plan and just how engaged is the U.S. in what's going on between Israel and Iran right now?
Yeah, I mean, that was something that was first reported by Reuters. Our own Von Hilliard backed it up. And, it's a pretty interesting little detail. The fact is that Donald Trump has given the green light, we know, to Israel's attacks on Iran, which is what set this whole thing off last Friday early morning. But whether or not Trump actually said that the Ayatollah wouldn't be killed, we know that from our own reporting that is the case. But it goes to show that President Trump does have some level in which he's trying to restrain Benjamin Netanyahu. We have to remember here, the supreme guide of Iran, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, isn't just a political leader. He's also a spiritual leader for the about 10% of the Muslim world who are Shia Islamic. They don't all necessarily sort of revere this man, and Iran has a very unique political religious arrangement that allows for the reverence of the supreme guide, the supreme leader of Iran. But this would be kind of a big step if he were to be killed along with the rest of his generals and political leaders. It might invite more against Israel than they'd be willing to swallow.
Matt Bradley in Tel Aviv. Matt, thank you. For more on this, let's bring in Hagar Shamali. She's the former spokesperson for the U.S. mission to the UN and the former NSC director for Syria and Lebanon. She's also the host of Oh My World on YouTube. Hagar, good to have you with us. Let's pick up where we ended with Matt right there. What does this information about President Trump's rejection of Israel's plan to actually assassinate Iran's supreme leader, what does that tell you about the dynamic among the three sides and America's involvement in this conflict right now?
Well, the idea or the effort on Trump's part in this vein to not support an assassination against the Supreme Leader Khamenei is because he likely views a chance for a potential deal. And he has said that. He said that only yesterday. He said that he was hoping that the Iranians could still come to the table. And they could still come to the table. I mean, you've got a situation where Israel really has Iran by the neck. And if the regime wants to survive at all and not having its nuclear program is going to weaken it significantly, then they might be incentivized to come to the table. So that's on one hand. And then the second part, I would follow on with Matt, what he added, is that Khamenei is viewed as a divine person in a system, by the way, that is completely Islamist. It is a fundamentalist extreme ideology. And what you have, if you assassinate that leader, you don't know what kind of dangers or violence could be sparked across the region. And so to prevent that from happening, or at least until Israel might be ready for that step, once they've eliminated the nuclear threat, right now that's going to be off the table.
So how much pressure do you think the Iranian government is under right now from its own people to respond to these attacks?
I'm really glad you asked this question, because I don't think it's very well understood what the Iranian people themselves are feeling about the regime and about this whole situation. To put the answer very bluntly, they're not receiving pressure from the Iranian people. And the reason for that is that the majority of the Iranian people despise this regime. This regime has used all of its influence, in large part backed by the fact that it has this nuclear program, to abuse them, to torture them, to oppress them significantly. So while the Iranians are scared, and I don't want to dismiss the danger here that's happening, they are in large part supportive of any effort that targets the nuclear weapons and targets this regime specifically.
And Hagar, quickly, how far do you think Israel is willing to take this military effort, especially as its own civilians begin to face the consequences of Iran retaliating?
Sure. So first, as was noted, Netanyahu, Prime Minister Netanyahu, has said this is going to take weeks and not days. And this is an important point, because for a long time, even when I was in government at the White House in 2011, I remember very clearly Israel preparing for the potential of targeting Iran's nuclear weapons. And that's something we all have to understand here. This is something that has been prepared for years. So they're not going to pursue something without knowing for sure that they're going to be able to neutralize that threat. And so they're going to go all the way, and it's going to take a little bit of time. And the reason they're doing it now, and I want to be very clear about this because this is important, it's not because of some assessment that Netanyahu has pulled out of thin air. The threat from the nuclear threat from Iran is very real, but it happened now because of a report that the International Atomic Energy Agency put out in May, highlighting that Iran was ready to make 10 nuclear weapons and had surged its nuclear weapons grade material.
Hagar Shamali, always good to have you with us. Appreciate your time. More international news now. Russia struck a key Ukrainian oil refinery overnight. NBC's Matt Bodner joins us with that and some other world headlines. Matt, good morning.
Joe, good morning. The Russian military this weekend conducted a strike on Ukraine's Kremenchuk oil refinery, which is used to supply fuel to Ukrainian forces operating in the Donbas region of eastern Ukraine. The strike was denounced sharply by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who called it a vile strike on Ukrainian energy infrastructure and a Russian effort to, quote, spit on everything the international community is trying to do to stop this war. He also noted that the United States has asked Ukraine to halt its strikes on analogous Russian energy facilities. Moving along now to India, doctors now say that a total of 270 bodies have been recovered from the crash site of Air India Flight 171. That plane crashed last Thursday shortly after takeoff, killing all but one of the 242 people aboard. The fully fueled Boeing 787 Dreamliner came down in a densely populated area, and efforts are still underway to understand how many people were killed on the ground by the crash. Doctors are running DNA testing on recovered remains, which is a slow process, and a final tally may still take some time. And we'll wrap up this hour in Italy. A tourist couple recently broke a crystal-laden chair at an art museum in Verona. The museum actually released security video footage this week that shows the pair taking photos of each other as they pretend to sit on the museum's so-called Van Gogh chair. It's a piece that is covered in hundreds of Swarovski crystals and named in honor of the famous artist. Unfortunately, the man appears to have slipped while taking these photos and fell onto the chair, crushing it. The couple fled the museum before the staff noticed what happened. The two have not been identified. That's why we have the security video. Back to you, Joe.
Okay. Don't ever sit in the museum chair. Don't pretend to sit in the museum chair. Stay away from the museum stuff. All right, Matt, thank you so much. Coming up, adventure for everyone. The folks at Lonely Planet are out with their first ever travel guide for members of the LGBTQ+ community. Our Pride Month celebration continues with a tour of some of the hottest destinations. That's next on Morning News Now. Welcome back. June is Pride Month, so today we're highlighting a new guide that's making waves in the travel industry and the LGBTQ+ community. Publisher Lonely Planet, best known for its budget-friendly travel guides, recently released its first ever standalone guide for LGBTQ+ travelers. The book, titled The LGBTQ+ Travel Guide, explores more than 50 queer-friendly locations from Brooklyn to Berlin and beyond through the voices of the people who live there. Joining us now is the author of the book, travel writer for Lonely Planet, Alicia Valensky. Good to have you with us, Alicia. Congratulations on this book. It is such a great idea. I will definitely be checking it out. So Lonely Planet's been going since the 70s. You have more than, 150 million printed guides sold. Full disclosure, we just bought one over the weekend for an upcoming trip. Why is this, do you think, the right time to do this?
So it was interesting. I came to Lonely Planet with the idea for this book because I felt like even though the standalone guides for each destination include LGBTQ travel tips, that's not really the same as having a dedicated guide for this specific community. So it really worked out quite serendipitously. They were poised already to be publishing an LGBTQ travel guide. My specific pitch for it to be a community-driven guide from people who actually live in this destination or that destination, it really just sat quite well with Lonely Planet. So the timing worked out perfectly, and it's such a joy for it to be coming out in this season when, I think there are a lot of reasons for queer folks to be a little bit nervous about traveling certain places, and this guide can help hold their hand and act as that reassuring friend so that they can travel safely and see all the beauty in the world.
You mentioned you pitched it to them, and I understand it's after you went to Mexico, you were at a resort, and you were having trouble getting information on the queer scene there. Talk more about that.
Yeah, of course. So I've been in travel media for quite some time. I was headed to a press trip in, I think at the time it was going to be in Mexico. It was going to be in Playa del Carmen. And I just didn't know at the time how queer friendly it was going to be. Was that something I needed to hide about myself while I was there? I was really trying to, type these different search phrases and not getting any hits. And once I got there, I was able to find, that one bartender who has the inside information on here's where you can go, here's where you'll feel safe. Once you get to that place, you meet more people in the LGBTQ community who can give you more information. And I started thinking, what is it about that? It feels almost conspiratorial that if you know, you have to be an insider kind of feeling the word of mouth spreading of information. And I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if we could put together a permanent collection in a publication that could act as word of mouth, but you could pick it up and read it for yourself all around the world.
So how'd you pick 50 places? And can you give me maybe one place in the book that's a bit surprising?
Of course. So I will say, I think that this was probably a bit stressful for Lonely Planet because this project was people first, not place first. So I started by honing a list of people I thought I could really trust with their recommendations, people who were tried and true locals in whatever destination they live in, who could really act as a tour guide that readers would be able to trust and feel like, hey, this is a friend that I've just made. So I started with the list of people, and thankfully the destinations ended up spreading across the entire world. We've got almost all the continents, nothing in Antarctica yet, no penguins featured, but I think that one of the destinations that kind of surprised me was Madrid. And it's because I studied abroad in Spain and I perceived it at the time, so many years ago, it's embarrassing. I perceived it to be pretty conservative and Catholic, and I didn't assume that that would go hand in hand with the queer community. And I was really delighted to find that Madrid is an incredibly welcoming place, especially the neighborhood of Chueca. And I've had the pleasure of exploring it and getting to know people who live there. And it's just been such a joy to have my eyes opened to this culture that I didn't realize existed within Spanish culture.
I was just in Madrid a month ago, and the queer scene there is absolutely incredible. So glad you found it the same way. Alicia Valensky, great idea. Thank you so much for taking the time to share it with us.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up, trade war worries. More Americans saying tariffs are a cause for concern, and not just on Wall Street. Welcome back. A new survey is revealing how many Americans are feeling about the economy right now. CNBC's Bertha Coombs joins us with that and some other money news. Bertha, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Nearly 2/3 of Americans believe that tariffs are going to have a negative impact on their personal finances. That includes 41% who say they'll be in much worse shape. A new Bankrate survey finds that more than half of people surveyed believe the economy is headed in the wrong direction. And after tariffs, Americans say actions such as cutting taxes for the wealthy and cutting the federal workforce will negatively impact their finances. Southwest Airlines is adding a new cockpit alert system to help pilots avoid dangerous situations following a series of close calls in recent years. The Wall Street Journal reports the system delivers verbal warnings and text alarms if a pilot is about to use the wrong runway or take off or land on a taxiway. Southwest says the system has been added to nearly all of its 800 aircraft at this point. The airline decided to start adding the technology to its Boeing 737 fleet early last year. And the Paris Air Show, one of the world's largest, kicking off today with the usual fanfare of aircraft orders being tempered by concerns over India's deadliest air disaster and the conflict between Israel and Iran, both of which have rattled the aviation industry. Attendees say they expect the event to be more somber and several activities to be scaled back this year. Airlines have also had to cancel or divert thousands of flights from the Middle East, and companies are grappling with uncertainty over President Trump's tariff policies, which have impacted aircraft, engines, and parts, particularly those steel tariffs really impact that. Back over to you, Joe.
All right, Bertha, thank you so much. Turning from popular culture to popular science, we want to introduce you to a Wisconsin man who's facing some people's biggest fears, all in the name of science. For the past 2 decades, Tim Freedy has been bit hundreds of times by some of the most venomous snakes in the world. Now, scientists say his blood could actually be the key to revolutionizing the way we treat snake bites, which kill thousands of people every year. NBC News correspondent Marissa Parra has more.
For 18 years, Tim Freedy spent much of his spare time like this.
Black mamba.
Taking bites from his pets, some of the deadliest snakes on the planet. So why face something even the bravest action heroes usually fear?
I hate snakes, Doc! The reason behind it is I didn't want to die from snake bite. I didn't want to use antivenom. I didn't want to lose a finger.
Despite lacking a formal scientific education, Freedy developed a system to build up a resistance, starting with small injections of venom and building up to full-on bites.
Very painful.
But there were setbacks.
Well, the first year I started doing this, it was a total disaster. I ended up in the hospital in a coma on 9/12, the day after 9/11, after 2 cobra bites.
Eventually, Freedy had the idea that his blood could be used by scientists to develop a better kind of antivenom and tackle a global problem.
5 million people are bitten every year. 125,000 people die every year. And there's over 400,000 amputations and disfigurements because of snake venom.
While there are antivenoms available for many of the world's venomous snakes, the traditional process has drawbacks. Small doses of venom are injected into an animal, like a horse, which then produces antibodies turned into an antivenom. Plus, those horse antibodies can cause serious side effects. That means a patient needs to identify the kind of snake that bit them, and then the hospital needs to have that specific antivenom, a challenge in many poor rural areas. Freedy's dream, a universal antivenom based on human antibodies. It seemed more like a fantasy. For nearly 2 decades, he couldn't convince scientists to use his blood, but he persisted. Over 650 injections and over 200 snake bites later, one phone call changed everything.
I was like, look, I would love to get my hands on some of your blood. And then his answer to me was, yeah, I've been expecting this call for a long time.
Immunologist Jacob Glanville founded biotech company Cenovax. The goal? Create a universal vaccine that could treat multiple infectious diseases.
I started wondering whether the same biology might apply to snake bite that applies to universal vaccines.
And the opportunity to study Tim Freedy was once in a lifetime.
Tim seems to be a totally unique immunological history phenomenon.
Glanville says that through repeated venom exposure, Freedy has built incredibly strong antibodies.
So it's like a samurai sword. You're bending it and hammering it and bending it and hammering. Each time it makes the blade more excellent.
Now, a collaboration between Freedy, Cenovax, and scientists at Columbia University have published a new research paper. The team developed what it calls an antivenom cocktail using antibodies isolated from Freedy's blood. In tests on mice, it gave complete protection against 13 out of 19 of the most deadly snake venoms in the world and partial protection against the other 6. A major step forward, but still a long journey ahead with a different blend of antibodies for vipers in the works. Freedy hasn't been bitten in 8 years, but says he's always willing to jump back in the snake pit for science.
I miss it a lot, but we'll see what the future holds.
A citizen scientist just waiting for the right mission to sink his fangs in. Marissa Parra, NBC News.
Needless to say, don't try that at home. All right, coming up, overdue recognition for some of baseball's greatest players.
Playing field for everyone in society, and this is to everyone's benefit.
Up next, the major move by Major League Baseball, next on Morning News Now. Finally this hour, decades after hanging up their cleats, some of baseball's greatest players are getting the recognition they have long deserved. It comes just 1 year after the MLB officially incorporated stats from the so-called Negro Leagues into their record books. NBC News Now anchor Zincle Esawa has the story.
These pictures and artifacts represent just some of baseball's black history.
Black people have always played baseball, but their game has not always been recognized, right?
And I think that was the thing. No one gave it any credence. It had happened, and when you look at the Negro Leagues, it happened before huge audiences.
Today, those firsthand accounts are preserved in Kansas City, Missouri, at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum.
Baseball is king.
But it's a legacy that was almost excluded from the major leagues entirely. There was once a time when African-American players were barred from integrating into the major leagues for years. So in 1920, the Negro National League was formed.
They didn't care what color you were. They didn't care what gender you were. Can you play?
Greats like Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron passed through the ranks, and even though their talent on the field was undeniable, it was not always recognized, even after Major League Baseball was integrated in 1947.
Jackie Robinson.
In 2020, on the 100th anniversary of the Negro League's founding, the MLB announced its plan to incorporate the Negro League statistics in the MLB's leaderboard, following work by researchers and historians like Phil Dixon.
You've at this point written at least 9 books chronicling baseball's black history. Why?
Because it's an important part of American history.
Dixon interviewed players and their families, all with the hopes of preserving the sport's diverse history.
When you tell the story, it enlightens people and it frees people.
The addition of the Negro League statistics also meant changes to some major rankings. Doug Glanville played 9 major league seasons with the Cubs, Phillies, and Rangers. To him, this is more than the numbers.
The step is significant in not only righting a wrong, but also creating the conversations and discussions around why this is important to fuse these histories.
But he says there is still work to be done.
And certainly I had my own personal experiences as a black player of feeling the inequality. You know, we're trying to level the playing field for everyone in society, and this is to everyone's benefit.
This season marks a year since that change.
Yes, yes.
What has it done?
Well, for baseball fans, it's given them something to talk about. The stats should become a portal for greater understanding.
Each new season marking a chance to create a more inclusive home run. For Sunday Today, Zincle Esawa, Kansas City, Missouri.
And that does it for this hour of Morning News Now. The news continues right now. Good Monday morning. I'm Joe Fryer. Savannah is off today. Right now on Morning News Now, in custody, that massive Minnesota manhunt is over. Police overnight arresting the man accused of killing a state lawmaker and her husband and severely injuring another state senator and his wife. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz calling the weekend shootings politically motivated. What we're now learning about the suspect and the crucial moments that led to his capture by law enforcement. In the Middle East, Israel and Iran launching a fresh wave of violent attacks as the latest conflict enters its 4th day. In Iran, the nation says so far more than 200 people have been killed, while in Israel, more than 20 lives taken. Our Richard Engel is on the ground in Tel Aviv as we're also learning about a plot by Israel to kill Iran's supreme leader, which was vetoed by President Trump. Back home, a show of force on separate fronts. President Trump's grand military parade taking place over the weekend, while millions of Americans across the country hit the streets sounding off on some of the administration's most controversial policies. That includes a recent immigration crackdown spurring unrest in some of America's largest cities. We are covering it all. And later in the hour, the concerning new watchdog report that might just make you think twice before downloading a free app to hide your internet activity. Let's start this hour with those deadly political shootings in Minnesota. 57-year-old Vance Belter is now in custody after police found him crawling in a field last night following a 2-day manhunt. The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office released this photo just moments after the arrest, calling this the face of evil. Belter is facing multiple charges for his alleged role in the murders of State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, as well as the attempted murders of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Investigators are now working around the clock to try to figure out a motive. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa has the latest from Minnesota.
Joe, good morning. Authorities making this dramatic late-night arrest in this rural, partially wooded area behind me, effectively ending the largest manhunt in Minnesota's history. Vance Belter, they tell us, peacefully surrendering, at one point crawling to authorities, offering in the end a huge sigh of relief to communities around here who are still processing unimaginable pain. The Minnesota man one sheriff's office calls the face of evil, this morning in custody, bringing the largest manhunt in state history to an end.
After a 2-day manhunt, 2 sleepless nights, law enforcement have apprehended Vance Belter.
The 57-year-old husband and father now facing state and federal charges for the murders of State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband and attempted murders of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Law enforcement saying the break came early Sunday morning when someone spotted this cowboy hat and black sedan, both connected to Belter, about an hour southwest of the shootings.
An alert police officer believed that he may have seen the individual running into the woods.
Authorities setting up a large-scale perimeter, saying Belter, who was armed, surrendered.
The suspect crawled to law enforcement teams and was placed under arrest at that point in time.
Belter's accused of dressing as law enforcement, even wearing this rubber mask and ambushing Democratic lawmakers at their homes early Saturday morning. Senator Hoffman's neighbor heard the attack.
I heard pow, 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 pow. I seen a dark black car backing out of the Hoffman's driveway.
In that SUV, authorities finding a list of prominent lawmakers who support abortion rights from multiple states, including Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Iowa, and Nebraska. Several lawmakers assigned heightened security, including U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar, who saw the Hortmans the night before they died.
Everyone was rejoicing, happy, the session's behind them, and that was the last time so many of us saw Melissa and Mark.
President Trump saying such horrific violence will not be tolerated. Senator John Hoffman's wife saying she and her husband were shot at least 8 times each, saying in a statement from the hospital, "John and I are both incredibly lucky to be alive," adding there is never a place for senseless political violence and loss of life. And turning back to this search, authorities stressing help from the public played a major role, telling us they got more than 400 tips in less than 48 hours. Joe.
All right, Maggie, thank you so much. As the investigation continues, we're learning more from law enforcement about the shooting and the manhunt. Earlier on the Today Show, Minnesota Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson praised officers for the arrest and for bringing the suspect into custody safely. Here's that conversation.
Can you give us a little bit more insight into precisely how you were able to get your guy, and what, if anything, has he told you about a motive?
Well, thank you again and good morning, and thanks for the opportunity to be here. We're very fortunate that we had witnesses that observed Mr. Belter going into that area, and we also had an alert police officer that believed that we saw him also in that area. We were able to utilize numerous police officers, numerous police law enforcement agencies to be able to locate Mr. Belter and take him safely into custody.
And Mr. Jacobson, to Craig's question, is he cooperating? Has he given you any information at all?
We are certainly spending a lot of time in the investigation. I can't get into the details of any interviews with Mr. Belter at this time, but just know that we are talking with witnesses, with continuing to talk with the victims of this, and we're certainly working to try to get more information from Mr. Belter.
Commissioner, there was some reporting over the weekend about the suspect's wife, that she was pulled over and that the car that she was in, there was perhaps some ammunition, passports, cash. What more can you tell us about that and whether that's connected at all to the shootings?
That's a great question. And law enforcement did stop and talk with Mr. Bolter's wife. She was cooperative and did give an interview and did speak with law enforcement officials. I can't get into the details of that interview, and we can't get into the details of any evidence that may have been taken from the car, but just know that we certainly wanted to talk with her and get as much information and details as we possibly could, and we'll continue to look into that evidence into that interview.
And recognizing this investigation is just getting started, I mean, what have you gleaned about the motive here? I mean, is there any doubt in your mind this was a politically motivated attack?
Well, it certainly that is a motive that we need to look into. Certainly both of those people who, former Speaker Hortman was a longtime legislator, and Senator John Hoffman, also a longtime legislator in the state of Minnesota, both Democrats. So we're certainly looking into whether or not this is related to their work. But it certainly would appear so. 2 Democrats were shot. 1 Democratic leader was killed, and we are still, grieving over that loss and taking a lot of pride in law enforcement as they've gone about doing their business and taking Mr. Bolter into custody.
Our thanks to our friends at Today for bringing us that interview. In the Middle East, Iran is ramping up its retaliatory airstrikes 4 days after Israel launched attacks on Tehran's nuclear sites. Israeli police say several people were killed after an Iranian missile struck a residential building in central Israel. Despite air raid sirens, residents say they had only 2 minutes to find shelter before that missile struck. NBC News chief international correspondent Richard Engel is outside that building with the latest.
This is one of the buildings that was hit by an Iranian missile. At least 3 people were killed, according to Israeli medical officials, as both sides are now escalating this conflict.
Israel's air defenses are state-of-the-art, but not perfect. Iranian missiles are increasingly getting through. The Israeli coastal city of Haifa took a direct hit, setting a refinery ablaze. An apartment complex near Tel Aviv was also struck. Parts of Petah Tikva, a small city near Tel Aviv, were badly damaged. Israel is also expanding its assaults beyond Iran's nuclear sites, military leaders and scientists, targeting the Iranian government and infrastructure across the country. Medical officials say more than 220 people have been killed in Iran, including many civilians. Some Iranians are starting to flee Tehran, expecting a drawn-out war. President Trump, whose administration was in the advanced stages of negotiations with Iran when Israel attacked, did not appear to be frustrated by Netanyahu's preemptive war.
Sometimes they have to fight it out, but we're going to see what happens. I think there's a good chance there'll be a deal.
And there are growing suggestions President Trump knew more about Israel's plans than Washington is letting on. NBC News confirming President Trump stopped Netanyahu from assassinating Iran's supreme leader, according to a U.S. official. Also coming to light, the extent of Israel's planning, that it had intelligence agents from the Mossad planted in Iran before the initial attacks, setting up drones to take out missiles and car bombs to target Iranian officials. But it goes both ways. Israel's domestic intelligence service released video of its agents arresting 2 Israeli Jews, allegedly for spying for Iran. Speaking to Fox News, Netanyahu, who called on Iranians to rise up while Israel attacks, said regime change is a possibility and brushed off calls for an immediate ceasefire.
The issue here is not de-escalation. The issue here is not ceasefire. The issue here is stopping those things that will threaten our survival.
We often talk about how Israelis have either shelters beneath their homes or fortified safe rooms in their homes or apartments. And every time there's an air raid siren, every time there's a threat, they are told to go into those safe rooms, and it gives Israelis a sense of security. But the missiles that the Iranians are firing are very powerful, and this one here hit directly the building, hit directly one of those safe rooms, killing the people inside.
All right, Richard, thank you so much. For more on this, let's bring in John Brennan. He is an NBC News national security and intelligence analyst and also the former director of the CIA. Always good to have you with us. First, I want to ask you, just what do you make of this news of President Trump rejecting Israel's plan to assassinate Iran's supreme leader? Also, are you just surprised that that's information officials are even putting out there right now?
Well, I think it demonstrates that the U.S. administration has tremendous leverage over Israeli actions, military operations. If we did veto that planned strike, we had the opportunity to stop Israel from launching what is seen as a preemptive war. So again, I think it just demonstrates that the United States can use this influence when it wants. It is a bit surprising that we've let that out, but I think it's trying to demonstrate that the Trump administration is trying to make sure that it moderates the Israeli actions and does not cause even greater escalation than has already occurred.
And I guess you've kind of answered this a little bit here, but the fact that Israel had this plan, that President Trump vetoed it, where do you think the relationship is between the U.S. and Israel right now, as we've seen so much play out in the last 4 days here?
I think it's still very close. The Trump administration has been very supportive of Netanyahu's government and its operations, whether it be in Gaza or Lebanon and now in Iran. And so, again, I think the Trump administration decided not to stop Israel from engaging in these military operations. It's something that Netanyahu has wanted to do for many years, but it's also something that previous U.S. administrations have stopped Israel from carrying out these strikes because of the fear that it was going to escalate. And as we've seen now, we're in the fourth day, and it doesn't show any signs of relenting anytime soon. And there's death and destruction on both sides.
How much do you worry that we are in the early stages of an even wider war in the Middle East? How long do you think this could last, especially between Israel and Iran right now?
Well, I think it's been Netanyahu's expectation that at some point the United States is going to join in, not just in terms of the defense of Israel, but maybe engaging in some of these strikes against the Iranian nuclear facilities, such as Fordel, which is about a half-mile underground, and it really requires U.S. B-2 bombers to carry these 30,000-pound bombs to be able to penetrate the bunker busters, as they're called. And so there is the potential for escalation. Iran also has some other opportunities to carry out strikes, not just with ballistic missiles, which it's doing, but whether it's going to engage in some type of international terrorism, because it does have capabilities to strike out against Israeli diplomats or targets worldwide. And so we'll have to see where this goes. But again, I think it's at a very worrisome stage that we're not going to see any type of ceasefire within the next day or two.
Former CIA Director John Brennan, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Now, Israel's conflict with Iran is expected to jump to the top of the agenda at today's G7 meeting in Canada. President Trump arrived in the Canadian Rockies yesterday amid a whole host of political and economic issues that will keep world leaders busy over the next 2 days. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez joins us now from Calgary, Canada. So, Gabe, let's start with the Middle East. As Israel's staunchest ally, is the president expected to face any added pressure from the other G7 leaders to try and de-escalate what's happening?
Certainly, as you mentioned, Joe, this topic will be a huge part of the conversation here at the G7, in which we'll also see other issues rise to the surface as well, including the war in Ukraine and also the ongoing trade war really across the world. But that issue of Israel and Iran, certainly world leaders, including the German chancellor, have said that they plan to ask the United States to try and de-escalate this situation. But there's broad agreement that Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon. So we expect the president to face difficult questions about that. And this is actually the first time, the first world leader summit that President Trump has gone to in 6 years. Of course, the previous G7 summit here in Canada in 2018 produced that now very memorable photo of President Trump going against other world leaders, the German chancellor at the time, Angela Merkel, standing over him. And the leaders did not have much agreement at all in that summit back in 2018, and Trump basically stormed off. So a lot of issues at the table here, but looming large over this gathering will be the Israel-Iran conflict, Joe.
And another, of course, major issue is going to be the economy, the global economy. How much do we expect the president to see pushback from other G7 leaders when it comes to his trade tariffs, which have dominated the world economy over the past few months?
Well, certainly, and many of these issues are interconnected, right? I mentioned the war in Ukraine. Several of these European countries will make the argument that they can't be expected to increase their defense spending, which President Trump has been very insistent on, that they can't do that if they're expected to fight this ongoing trade war. So certainly the tariffs against Canada have been on pause until July 9th, but President Trump is facing increasing pressure to announce new trade deals. We really haven't heard much of anything given the self-imposed deadline that the United States put forward. So far, we've only heard of frameworks of deals with Great Britain and China, but really not much else. So there will certainly be a lot of questions as this summit gets underway, whether there can be any sort of agreement to stave off a broader trade war and to have any agreement with these countries that are the world's biggest economies, Joe.
Also notable, Gabe, is where you are. This is the president's first visit to Canada since relations with the U.S. deteriorated over those repeated comments about trying to make Canada the 51st state, not to mention the tariffs. So what can we expect when the president meets with Canada's prime minister later today?
Yeah, it's certainly the elephant in the room, is it not, Joe? Look, several weeks ago, when Mark Carney was in the United States, I asked the president in the Oval Office whether he was joking with all this talk of the 51st state. He did not back off of it. He even said, never say never when it came to Canada potentially becoming the 51st state. Of course, Mark Carney in the room right there pushed back gently. And so we do expect there to be some gentle pushback to that. But Mark Carney so far has proved very adept as not escalating any conflict with President Trump. So during the bilateral meeting later today, we expect, it should be interesting to see how it ends up. But Carney not expected to make any huge conflict with the president, again, with so many issues looming large over the summit. And they're trying to strike a trade deal when it comes to tariffs.
Yeah, we can always pivot to any number of issues. All right, Gabe Gutierrez, good to have you with us. Thank you. Here in the U.S., millions of Americans took to the streets across the country over the weekend to protest the actions of the Trump administration. That was spurred on in part by the ICE raids against undocumented migrants in major cities. The demonstrations came as the president hosted that controversial military parade in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. NBC News correspondent Ryan Nobles joins us now with more on all this. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning. Those protests took place in dozens of cities across the country. They were largely peaceful, but the tension remains in major cities where protesters clash with law enforcement. And in a social media post over the weekend, President Trump vowed that the ICE raids would expand to other cities across the country.
From Los Angeles to Atlanta to Chicago and in the nation's capital, organizers say more than 5 million Americans poured into the streets under the banner of No Kings, with the goal of sending President Donald Trump a message about the direction of his administration.
I didn't expect to be fighting fascism in my 50s.
The protests were in part a response to the administration's decision to host a grand military parade in Washington in honor of the Army's 250th birthday, which just happened to coincide with President Trump's birthday. Trump telling the crowd the day was about America's fighting force.
Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too.
The parade crowds were moderate amid intermittent rain and intense security all around the route, with those there calling the event a success.
It's patriotic. It's amazing.
But that celebration was juxtaposed by a mass mobilization in other parts of the country.
We just feel like that our democracy is in danger.
Protesters in thousands of demonstrations nationwide accusing President Trump of attempting to amass too much power and targeting innocent people in the administration's sweeping mass deportation program.
Well, we haven't had a king since 1776. We want to keep it that way.
Though largely peaceful, police say one person died when gunfire erupted at a protest in Salt Lake City, while in some others, demonstrators clashed with law enforcement. More than 30 were arrested in Denver. And in Los Angeles, after days of tension and conflict, police accusing protesters of throwing rocks, bottles, and fireworks at officers. The city's downtown area remains under an 8 p.m. curfew as police attempt to keep the peace.
And the Trump administration has not backed down from using the military to try and contain the violence in Los Angeles. This despite pleas from state and local leaders that it is unnecessary. In a preliminary ruling, a federal judge held that the president illegally deployed troops to the city without local input. Now, an appeals court stayed that ruling until Tuesday, giving them a chance to weigh in. Joe.
All right, Ryan, thank you. Parts of West Virginia are recovering from heavy rain and devastating flash floods over the weekend. At least 5 people are dead, and crews are searching for several others who are still missing. The governor there declared a state of emergency for 2 counties with more rain forecast for the rest of the week. NBC News correspondent George Solis is in Wheeling, West Virginia, with more.
A state of emergency in West Virginia this morning.
This is kind of a unicorn event because a lot of the rain hit very narrow areas.
Deadly flash flooding overwhelming communities.
We're completely apart, water running through the window.
The side of this apartment building collapsing.
Oh my God.
Emergency crews say between 2.5 and 4 inches of rain fell in about 30 minutes Saturday night.
It happened so quickly and so fast. I've never seen anything like this.
Leaving cars submerged and homes destroyed.
You know how long it's going to take to repair that?
The flooding forcing roads to buckle, and others now dangerous, filled with scattered debris.
Not only is there debris on the roads, some of those roads are washed away. It's just very dangerous.
West Virginia's governor says at least 5 people are dead and 4 others missing.
We're using drones, search dogs, and swiftwater personnel. We're trying to recover anybody that's missing.
First responders working around the clock. The disaster in West Virginia comes just days after deadly flash flooding hit San Antonio. From above, a look at the damage. At least 13 people were killed last week, most after multiple vehicles were swept away into a creek by fast-moving water. As the search for those still missing continues, one survivor says he's grateful to be alive.
I'm grateful enough to have my life and have God on my side to get me out.
Our thanks to George Solis for that report. Let's get a closer look now at the severe storm threats with your Morning News Now weather. Meteorologist Michelle Grossman joins us with the forecast. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, Joe. And this is going to be a multi-day event. So we are looking at the threat for severe storms not only today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that does include the threat for flash flooding once again. So this is what today looks like. We have the chance for spotty storms throughout the southeast into the Mississippi Valley, parts of the mid-Atlantic and the interior parts of the northeast. The Carolinas and mid-Atlantic could see flash flooding. We saw some flooding earlier this morning. Then in the northern plains, we are looking at the chance for severe storms. That includes hail, tornadoes, heavy downpours, and also some damaging winds. Sizzling out in the west. We're looking at southwest temperatures over 110 in some spots. This is going to stay in place over the next several days. So we're looking at lots of heat there and looking at some fire danger, too, in the southwest. Tuesday, the threat moves into the central plains. By Wednesday, we're looking at the storm threat now into the Great Lakes, parts of the Midwest. Summer highs into the southern plains, the southwest, still staying really warm, as well as the Intermountain West into parts of the Northwest. We're into the 70s and 80s there. Then as we look towards Wednesday, closer to the east, we're looking at the chance once again for wet weather in the Northeast, the Appalachians into New England as well. Friday, we're looking at toasty temperatures staying hold in parts of the Intermountain West down to the Southwest. Notice those 100s, 112 in spots in the Southwest. Seasonal throughout the Northeast. We're chillier today compared to normal. And we were chilly over the weekend. We're going to return to more normal temperatures closer to the weekend. And we actually might have a dry weekend in the Northeast by Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be warm, but it's going to be dry. And Gulf Coast rain by Friday, from Texas all the way along the Gulf Coast into the state of Florida. So that's what it looks like for the week ahead. For right now, we are looking at some showers and storms and some producing heavy rainfall. We're looking at some lightning. And this will be the theme throughout the day. The northern plains, especially the target for some severe weather. Throughout the afternoon and evening hours, we have an enhanced risk. That's where you see the orange there. So from Minnesota to Nebraska, places like Minneapolis, Kearney, Scottsbluff could see some really strong storms. 9 million people at risk. We're looking at large hail. We're looking at the chance for winds gusting over 65 miles and a few tornadoes, too. Tuesday, that threat moves a little bit further to the north. We're looking at the Central Plains now. Kansas City to Dodge City, damaging hail an inch or larger, winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, a tornado or two is possible. And then look how this number grows on Wednesday. 41 million people at risk for severe storms from the Great Lakes all the way down to the central and southern plains. Winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, could see some hail and also the chance of a few tornadoes. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll see that move a little bit further to the east. We're going to see a lot of rain also. Flood alerts stay for 15 million people. I mentioned the flash flooding risk throughout portions of the mid-Atlantic into the Carolinas, so places like Pittsburgh, Elkins, Maryland into Charleston, West Virginia could see some flash flooding conditions. We saw that earlier this morning. We've been watching it all morning long. So this is going to be a spot that we're going to watch throughout the day, too.
Yep. All right. We know you will. Michelle, thank you so much. Sure. Much more to come on this Monday edition of Morning News Now. A little later, a new watchdog report highlighting how some of those free VPN apps, which claim to keep our browsing private and are available on Apple and Google's app stores, may have ties to China. First, after the break, a not-so-prime location for the wedding of Amazon's Jeff Bezos and fiancée Lauren Sanchez. Some Venice locals would rather see the guests stay home. Those stories and more up next. We are back with a look at the controversy surrounding the wedding of billionaire Jeff Bezos and his fiancée Lauren Sanchez, which is set to take place next week. The two are planning a lavish series of celebrations in Venice, Italy. But some locals are not exactly celebrating. NBC News international correspondent Molly Hunter joins us with more on this. Molly, good morning.
Joe, good morning to you. Look, Venice is a dream wedding location for sure, the romantic lagoon city. But there are some Venetians. Now, the mayor of that city says it's a minority who are not welcoming Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez and their estimated 250 wedding guests to their city. Take a look.
Ahead of the star-studded, lavish nuptials of Amazon billionaire Jeff Bezos and his bride-to-be Lauren Sanchez, some local Venetians have a message. No space for Bezos, read the signs at recent protests. This protester blames local authorities for allowing Venice to be overrun by tourists, billionaires or otherwise. They should be ashamed, she says. The Bezos-Sanchez guest list is top secret, but Vogue reported it would include besties Katy Perry, Eva Longoria, and at least some of the Kardashians. On Instagram, Sanchez thanking her girls for lifting her up during a blow-up bachelorette party in Paris back in May. The wedding plans and venues have been closely guarded, but the bride offered some insight chatting with Savannah and Hoda.
How's wedding planning? Is it fun?
So, very excited about it.
Yes.
Thinking about the dress, I have to say.
How fun is that?
I do have a Pinterest. I'm just like every other bride.
In a statement to NBC News, City Hall officials shared a few details to reassure the summer's tourists and any disgruntled locals. Only about 30 water taxis out of 280 have been reserved. Regular taxi and public water transport services will continue, and only 3 or 4 hotels will be used for the event. Adding, the city is used to hosting major events like the G7 and G20, or major weddings, of course, like George and Amal Clooney back in 2014. But for some locals, the Bezos-Sanchez extravaganza crosses the line. From Italy to Portugal to Spain, locals rallied against the heavy footprint of overcrowding. Over the weekend in Barcelona, protesters targeting tourists with water guns. And in Verona, tourists behaving badly. This couple posing for photos caught on museum's CCTV breaking this chair, titled the Van Gogh chair, covered in hundreds and hundreds of crystals, then fleeing the museum. But for Venice's mayor, it's not all that controversial. We're extremely proud, he says, that he's chosen Venice for his wedding.
Now, Joe, one of the big complaints about over-tourism, is that, sure, there is an economic boost, but it drives locals out of the center of town and raises the cost of living. So according to the AP, citing people close to the couple, Bezos and Sanchez want to invest in the local economy. And so they're sourcing 80% of their wedding supplies from Venetian vendors, including from Laguna B, a design studio known for its beautiful hand-blown glass, and Rosa Salva, the city's oldest pastry maker. And Joe, I will be there next week to cover this wedding. If I need to do some investigative journalism, eat some pastries for the cause, I will take one for the team. This is a tough assignment through and through.
I don't know how you're able to do it, but I'm glad you're able to make room in your schedule to head over there, Molly. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. International headlines now. Another tragedy in India days after that deadly plane crash there, this time at a local tourist destination. NBC's Matt Bodner has that and some other world headlines. Matt, good morning.
Joe, good morning. At least 2 are dead and 32 others injured after the collapse of an iron bridge at a popular tourist destination in western India. 6 of those injured have been hospitalized in critical condition. That is according to local officials. Local media reported that a number of tourists were on the bridge when it collapsed over a swelling river. The region has seen heavy rains over the past few days, though it was not raining when the bridge collapsed. A similar incident back in 2022 sent hundreds of people into the water and killed at least 132 of them. Moving along now to Spain, where locals protested on Sunday against mass tourism by spraying visitors to Barcelona and Mallorca with water pistols. Similar protests took place in Portugal and Italy as well. The protesters say that they are working to reclaim control of their cities from massive waves of foreign tourists. As Molly was just telling us, locals believe that vacation rentals are causing a national housing crisis. Squirt guns, one protester told NPR, are, quote, to bother the tourists a bit, and to describe the effort as a fight to give Barcelona, in this example, back to its residents. And we'll wrap up this hour right here in the UK. The MI6 spy agency has appointed its first ever female chief. The move was announced yesterday by Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The new spy chief is Blaise Mitraweli, and with her promotion to the top job, she becomes the only publicly named member of the agency. And the role is actually commonly known as C. She's actually been serving as the head of another department at MI6, that would be the Technology and Innovation Division. And as director of that department, she's been known as Q. Bond fans will know. Back to you, Joe.
No doubt. All right, Matt, thanks so much. Coming up, the fate of accused killer Karen Read now lies in the hands of a jury. After the break, we're going to bring you to that Massachusetts courtroom where a legal saga that has captivated America eyes its end. This is Morning News Now. We're back with a news segment, closer look at what's making news in the world of politics this morning, starting with a look at the lawmakers who sat out President Trump's military parade. NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin joins us from Washington with more on this. Julie, good morning.
Yeah, hey, Joe, good morning. Here's what we're watching this morning in politics. You're right, we talked a lot about this weekend's protests against President Trump and that extravagant parade to celebrate the military's 250th birthday. But what about all the politicians, including Republicans, who skipped it? Many of them had other plans in Paris at the iconic International Air Show. The list of attendees featured prominent GOP governors, including Ron DeSantis, Glenn Youngkin, and Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Republican Senator Jerry Moran said they went to, quote, demonstrate American innovation. Here's something you might have missed. President Trump's financial disclosures dropped on Friday night, 234 pages showing how the president makes his millions. One of his largest sources of income, get this, came from crypto. He made $57.3, look at that, $1 million on his company, World Liberty Financial. And that information comes at a critical time because here in Washington, the Senate could vote as soon as today on a monumental bill that would begin to regulate the once underground industry. Many Democrats, including Elizabeth Warren, have sounded the alarm over Trump's ties to crypto and want to limit his ability to profit off of it. And finally today, if you live in New York City, you can cast your ballot in the mayoral race. Early voting began on Saturday and turnout doubled from 2021. Eric Adams is running for re-election as an independent, and voters will determine who he faces in November. It's a crowded field. 11 Democrats are on the ballot. You see two of them on your screen, including former Governor Andrew Cuomo and Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani. Back to you.
We're maybe just a week or so away from those ads disappearing from our television sets here in New York. Julie, thanks so much. Appreciate it. A Massachusetts jury is set to resume deliberations this morning in Karen Read's murder retrial. Read is accused of killing her boyfriend back in 2022. NBC News correspondent Emily Ikeda joins us now from outside the courthouse in Massachusetts with a closer look. Emily, good morning.
Hey there, Joe. Good morning to you. While many people have tuned into this case from across the country online, there's a growing crowd of Karen Read supporters on the ground here waiting for a verdict in person. The defense actually asking them not to chant or cheer, but rather hold up an I love you sign in sign language as a quiet show of support so they're not kicked out of the area, as the jury of 7 women and 5 men continue to deliberate whether Karen Read is to blame for her boyfriend's death.
This morning, jurors back in court to deliberate Karen Read's fate.
Karen, how are you feeling?
Yeah, how are you feeling? After the prosecution and defense painted drastically different pictures in closing arguments Friday.
There's no doubt there's a collision because her taillight's all over the yard.
This case should be over right now. Done. Because there was no collision.
Karen Reed is accused of hitting her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, with her SUV and leaving him to die in the snow outside a house party involving other law enforcement back in 2022. Reed's defense raising questions about the nature of O'Keefe's injuries.
Just look at John's arm. These are dog bites and scratches.
And slamming the police investigation as corrupted from the start. The lead investigator was fired after sending crude texts about Reed.
If the Massachusetts State Police can't trust him, how can you trust him with this investigation and with your verdict?
While the prosecution minced no words.
She was drunk. She hit him. And she left him to die.
Reminding the jury about Reed's TV interviews. And emphasizing that Reed and O'Keefe's relationship was, quote, unstable at the end.
She takes that 6,000-pound Lexus and she makes a decision. And the decision is that she steps on the gas after banging it into reverse.
7 women and 5 men now left to weigh mountains of material, including vehicle data, voicemails and texts, crash demos, surveillance video from earlier in the night, and analysis of O'Keefe's injuries.
If there is a second mistrial in this case, then the prosecutors have a very difficult decision to make. Do they fold up their tent, or do they spend untold amounts of taxpayer money to try her a third time?
In a case that's captivated the country both online.
And I, like many of you, am obsessed with the Karen Reed case.
And in person. Protesters who believe Reed is innocent watching the live stream outside the courthouse.
Will you be here till the verdict?
Yes, I will.
Reed's father also unwavering in his support.
How do you not come across, all right, with any other decision but not guilty?
As this legal saga finally eyes an end.
And last year, the jury deliberated for 5 days before the judge declared a mistrial. If convicted of the top charge, Karen Reed could face life in prison, Joe.
All right, Emily, thank you. Coming up, fresh privacy concerns this morning for folks looking to hide their internet browsing. When Morning News Now returns, why a new watchdog report is now sounding the alarm over a handful of those free VPN apps. That's next. We're back now with an alarming new report that's raising privacy concerns over Apple and Google. The report alleges the two tech giants could be allowing the Chinese government to look at sensitive data through VPN apps. Now, this warning comes from the Technology Transparency Project, which accuses more than a dozen apps on Apple's App Store and Google's Play Store of having undisclosed ties to China. For more on this, let's bring in NBC News reporter Kevin Collier, who covers cybersecurity, privacy, and technology policy for us. Kevin, good morning. So this Watchdog report revealed that all the apps are virtual private networks, or VPNs. Some folks might have seen ads for these things. First, just give us the background here. What are VPNs? What kind of data could be at risk here?
Yeah, so you know how when you visit a website, your browser leaves some data with the site you're visiting? VPNs are apps or browsers that have a third-party company visit for you, kind of like a shield. It's in theory a way of protecting your privacy or a way of circumventing censorship in countries that do that. But they also, by definition, are getting all of your browser traffic history.
So you approached developers listed for those 17 apps. What did they say, and why is it especially concerning if the company is Chinese?
Well, the vast majority didn't respond. One contested it was still affiliated with the Chinese military. One told me it had no ties to China whatsoever. That was remarkable because its terms of service say that you're not allowed to violate the basic principles established by the Chinese Constitution. The main issue with all this is it's similar to the TikTok ban controversy, which is Chinese law. They don't have a system of checks and balances for subpoenaing your internet browser data, user data in general. So whereas if Facebook has data, the U.S. government will subpoena, get a warrant for somebody's data. In China, it's the property of the CCP, and that's a real concern. If you use one of these apps, it is free reign for the Chinese government.
In your article, you say, quote, unless a VPN company takes significant steps to automatically and permanently delete its users' search histories, a company is likely to keep records of its customers' internet activity. So what exactly should users know if they have any of these apps? What should you do to protect yourself?
I personally would not use any that are affiliated with the Chinese government. A lot of people don't really need most VPNs. You can get around without using one. But if you do, you should take care to be sure that it's a reputable company, a real company with real developers that you can actually see are real people and not kind of secretly affiliated with China.
We mentioned Apple and Google. Have they said anything or recently or even in the past about these VPN apps?
They gave me generic statements about their privacy policy. They don't ban Chinese apps by default. They had previously taken down some of apps affiliated with the ones that were affiliated with the Chinese military, but did not take down the other ones that the Technology Transparency Project flagged. Can't say what their thinking was there, but that's where they left it.
All right, Kevin Collier, appreciate you joining us to talk about your reporting on this. Thank you so much. Time now for some money headlines. Israel's and Iran's ongoing offensive, that's shaking up oil prices. CNBC's Bertha Coombs has that and some other money news. Bertha, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Wall Street appears to be on more steady footing this morning as investors continue to track the conflict between Israel and Iran, and the Federal Reserve and other global central banks meet to discuss the future path of interest rates. The escalation in the Middle East coming as G7 leaders gather in Canada, with President Trump's tariffs already straining relations. But there doesn't seem to be signs of panic among traders as the dollar holds against other major currencies, and oil is, well, it had been higher this morning. It's been a little bit lower. It's sort of fluctuating a little bit. The Fed is expected to keep rates on hold when it announces its decision coming up on Wednesday. And markets are still betting on 2 rate cuts this year, with the first move likely in September. Meantime, Victoria's Secret is facing pressure from an activist investor, which plans to mount a push to overhaul the retailer's board. Reports say the hedge fund believes Victoria's Secret has underperformed its rivals and lost value since being spun off from former parent company L Brands back in 2021. Victoria's Secret stock has fallen more than 50% this year. And Estee Lauder says its chairman emeritus, Leonard Lauder, has died at the age of 92. Lauder, the son of company founders Estee and Joseph Lauder, joined the firm in 1958. He played a key role in transforming the business from selling just a handful of products under one brand in the U.S. to a global cosmetic giant. Lauder led the launch of several recognizable brands, including Aramis and Clinique. Got to say, when I was a kid, Clinique was the brand that I really wanted. I loved getting those little packages along with your purchase.
Yeah, you would get all little samples. I think they still do that so often. All right, Bertha, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now to a weekend of celebrations and honors for the royal family. King Charles marked his official birthday with a grand parade in London and bestowed the ultimate honor, a knighthood, to some big names in sports and entertainment. NBC's Kaylee Hartung has more.
Hey there, this is a tradition that dates back to the early 18th century, trooping the color. It's King Charles III since assuming the throne, and just like in years past, there was plenty of pomp, ceremony, and absolutely adorable moments from the littlest royals.
Across the pond, a royal celebration in London. The annual Trooping the Color, marking King Charles' official birthday. The king riding in a carriage with Queen Camilla instead of on horseback amid his ongoing cancer battle. The monarch joined by Prince William, Princess Kate, and their 3 children. The princess and 10-year-old Charlotte matching in aquamarine, wearing heirlooms once belonging to the late Queen Elizabeth. Kate also channeling an iconic look reminiscent of Princess Diana. Also on hand, over 1,000 British soldiers, 200 horses, and roughly 300 musicians. Many, including the king himself, wearing a black armband in honor of the London-bound Air India crash victims. The royal family gathering on the balcony of Buckingham Palace for the finale, the fly past by the Royal Air Force Red Arrows. Prince Louis, who's been a viral sensation before with his dance moves and funny faces, once again stole the show, seen on camera excitedly waving to the crowds below before his older brother George intervened. The family also celebrating Father's Day on Sunday, posting an adorable tribute, including this photo The 3 children piled on top of their dad, writing, "Happy Father's Day, Papa, before and after. We love you, GC&L." Also part of the weekend's festivities, the King's Birthday Honors List, awarding knighthood to actor Gary Oldman, The Who's Roger Daltrey, and soccer legend David Beckham for his contributions to sports and charity.
It's been an emotional week, I must admit, for me and for my family. Yeah, it's obviously very special. It's a huge honor.
Sir David and his wife, now Lady Victoria Beckham, the toast of the town. Beck's former team, Manchester United, posting, "You truly deserve this."
So just to clear up any confusion, King Charles' actual birthday is still 5 months away. He will turn 77 on November 14th, but historically, British monarchs have an official birthday celebrated publicly in June in hopes that fickle London weather will hold out so they can have some sunshine. Back to you.
All right, Kaylee, thanks so much. And I love saying Lady Posh Spice. All right, coming up, a little more good news for you on this Monday morning. When we come back, the senior pup who is helping make days a little brighter in one Rhode Island community despite her own health issues. It's next. Stay with us. Finally this hour, a senior dog with cancer has found a new home with the Rhode Island Police Department, which is helping to make her remaining days the best ones yet. Reporter Sam Reed from our affiliate station, WJAR in New England, has that story.
Every day during Elsie Curtis's work week at the West Warwick Animal Shelter is a day full of dogs and showering them with love.
It's definitely sad to see them here because I know that they deserve a home. I'm glad that I'm here with them, and I know that I'm taking good care of them while they are here.
Hired as the animal control officer, each day is different. And unfortunately, during this time of year is when they see a spike of people not wanting their pets.
And I have a whole waiting list of people waiting to surrender their dogs here.
In February, a particular pooch was found hiding in a bush. The pit bull mix was brought here. It was clear the dog they've named Mouse had been abandoned.
She was so sick looking. She was extremely emaciated, malnourished. Her ribs were poking through.
A few visits to the veterinarian revealed she was a senior dog around age 10. And a devastating diagnosis, a strong case of cancer, and a recommendation to be euthanized.
She really became attached to me and the chief of police. She loved us both, so I was like, I can't see her be euthanized.
Just a few stone throws away at the West Warwick Police Department, Colonel Ernest Levine, the chief of police, had become attached to Mouse too.
Ready? I think it was probably 6 or 7 weeks where I didn't miss a day of walking Mouse. For what? Let's go.
Daily visits to see the dog. In between a collective effort of trying to find her a home for her final days, an agreement was made.
It was just kind of a natural thing. Hey, we're going to try to do everything we can to make the rest of this dog's life the best of this dog's life.
Which is why Mouse was adopted by the department. The police station is now her home.
She lives here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, other than when she's on one of her little vacations.
Mouse is becoming a compassion therapy dog who the entire town has helped in many ways.
She's kind of universally loved.
But there's one person in particular who went the extra mile, Dr. Kim Nelson with the Greenwich Valley Veterinary Clinic.
And, she looked at the file, she looked at me, she said, "Oh, so you have an old senior dog that needs chemo." And we had a little bit of a conversation, a very short conversation, and she basically handed the paperwork back to me and said, "Okay, I'll see you tomorrow at 12:45, and don't worry about the cost of it."
Every Tuesday, this has become their regular routine.
She's on several different chemos. She's had infusion, she's had injections, and then now she's on an oral liquid form every other day that we administer here at the police department.
And as her lymph nodes are shrinking, her love for a Dunkin' Donuts pop cup only grows larger.
It's chemo day.
What do we got there? Oh, look at this. As expected, sometimes she has down days. But the positivity surrounding her story is worthwhile.
It's kind of hard to not have her lift your spirits. So it's definitely, in my opinion, has been a very big impact on our police department.
And that's all thanks to a community that cares and a department that believes in second chances all around.
It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the police department. And it certainly means a lot to Mouse that together we're able to have this dog in our department the way she is.
That is such a sweet story. Look at how happy she is with her new home. Our thanks to Sam Reed for sharing Mouse's story and a little positivity. It's going to do it for this hour. Morning News Now. Stay with us. The news continues right now.
We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.